Good evening and welcome, FanSplash fans. Actually, you could be watching this in the morning, but good evening. Nonetheless, we are once again.
We are technically live, though.
Currently live.
You could watch it later.
If you're watching currently.
But currently, it is good evening.
It is. And good night. That's it. That's all we got.
That's all. We came back for only that.
We are once again Tyler Hall and Jesse Swift.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah, that's exactly
right.
That's how it's always been. Thank you for joining us. It has been a hot hell of a minute since we've come together for a podcast. You've seen us play some Injustice. You've seen we did the Fox and Swift and Fox movie talks. That was hard to do. Went up on a hike, try to give you guys some cool, different kind of content. But it's been a long time since we just did a straight up podcast. So we have been thinking for a long time that it is more than due time to get back into the swing of things. We're going to have a couple changes. We've been talking about this for a long time. So there's going to be some time differences, how long we spend on topics, what kind of topics we talk about, different organizational things just in general. And we also got a lot more people involved. So look forward to seeing more guests as we move forward and just a lot more involvement and a lot more variety in our content. Yes?
Yeah, we're very excited for the variety. I mean, obviously, we tried a lot of things. Reviews, audio-only interviews. We've got our big main page where everybody's active. But we think that this is going to work. So,
yes, 'tis the hopes. I think it will work more than the Dark Universe.
Topics.
Sorry. All right, stop. Shut up, Jesse. All right, so
thanks for coming back.
First topic, me or the audience?
Both.
All right. First topic is actually from today, so it's extremely relevant. So we want to go over it really quick. I have personal stakes on this. Not really. But okay. Hans Zimmer. Are you guys fans of Hans Zimmer? He did Pirates of the Caribbean. He did Man of Steel, in my opinion, the best score of all time. Interstellar, Inception, all the cool Nolan stuff. Dark Knight, of course. Really awesome composer. One of my favorites. He's actually number 2 on my list.
Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King. Wait, Lion King is Hans Zimmer. I mean, John Williams.
It's Lion King.
What?
It's Lion King.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
My life. You sit on a throne of lies, but you're probably right. I don't know. Anyways, Hans Zimmer. After the backlash of BVS, because he didn't do Justice League. Justice League was Danny Elfman. After the backlash of BVS, he said he would never do a superhero movie ever again. And I was like, no!
God knows everybody always sticks to everything they say, though.
Yeah, like, you know.
Jet Li, never doing another movie again.
Who did Lincoln? Daniel Day-Lewis. He says he's retired. We'll see what happens. We'll see how many movies what's-his-face makes. Hateful Eight. Quentin Tarantino. See how many movies he makes. Anyways, everyone sticks to their guns. Absolutely. That never changes. Hans Zimmer is saying that he is now going to be scoring in its entirety Wonder Woman, which is awesome because he helped give birth to the original Wonder Woman score. It was a combination of him and Junkie XL. They got the that is one of the most outstanding themes of a singular character I think we've had in like the last decade. It sticks out, and when you hear it right away, you're like, Wonder Woman!
Yeah, definitely.
What are your thoughts on having that in, have him run, once again, one of the best composers, especially for things that are epic, coming back to DC?
Well, first of all, how far along is the film?
They've been filming for a month tops, possibly, I think the last 3 weeks, a month.
I mean, obviously, things as iconic as the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, you know, you can't go wrong with that. So when you get somebody as talented as that back into something that, you know, is watched by as many people as a superhero audience, I think that that's good. So I don't know. I'm welcoming back. I think that he should come back. I don't think that anybody should deal in absolutes. Only the Sith deal in absolutes, Jesse.
That's a good fucking poll.
And it would be exciting to see because I do like the Wonder Woman theme. It does seem like one of the most like standout-ish like character themes of probably this decade or a generation or of any, you know, like you can identify it in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And in Wonder Woman,
They haven't given Batman his own theme. They recycled the 89 one, which I appreciate, but Batman still doesn't have his own like DC Universe theme. The Flash doesn't really have a DC Universe theme.
At the same time, fuck them. They're fucking up all their movies anyway. But
Hans Zimmer is not a mistake. So
no, I think it's good. I think that it's good. What do you think, Jesse?
All those things and what I said at first, put it all together. That's all I got. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Moving on to the next topic. So DC has already, surprisingly, ran out of ideas so hard they're looking for throwaway jokes from the Teen Titans movie to base a TV show off of. They're like, oh, Teen Titans made a funny joke about, Alfred getting his own movie. So we are going to give Alfred his own TV show.
Wasn't that Gotham?
What?
So wasn't that Gotham?
That was Gordon.
Wasn't that horrible?
That was Gordon Alfred.
Gordon / Alfred.
Yeah, pretty much. / Baby Bruce. I'm Batman. I don't really know what to say except for my high level of uninterest. I tried funny. Gotham. I couldn't do it.
We hadn't talked about this at all. He told me there was going to be a Pennyworth series, and I was like, Alfred? And I looked it up, and they're like, he's going to be a covert person trying to kidnap Thomas Wayne or infiltrate the Wayne household. And I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. People are putting money into this. Somebody wrote the script. Somebody was like, I have an idea. And they wrote it down and they submitted it to someone and they put it on the desk and like, this is your next big project, sir. And hundreds of people came together on this project to push it forward and then to announce it after that. This is such a bad, I don't know, maybe it'll be good, but I doubt it. It's stupid. Gotham sucked. Now you're going to go way pre-Gotham? Like, baby Gotham? Like, Alfred?
The only thing that what this reminds me of or takes me back to is I don't know how much you were paying attention during the Sony leaks. Do you remember when all the Sony emails came out and all these ideas for movies that they were working on or writing and stuff all came out? Like there's going to be a Men in Black and 21 Jump Street crossover and all these other things. One of the movies that they were like, we're going to start a script on for was an Aunt May spin-off prequel movie where she was a special agent. And I'm like, you're so goddamn dumb. Like you have characters like Moon Knight, Batgirl, Green Lantern again. Like there's so many characters
that too many people that get paid to sit at a desk. There's Mad Men style go. I've never read a comic book in my life, but this is Marissa Tomei. We need to get this character. We need to make this movie.
Right. There's so many characters that either haven't been done well or haven't been done at all,
which kind of leads. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
It's too early to do these things. The spin-offs of characters that don't have a story. Really, it's like, oh, well, it gives us creative freedom to do whatever we want. Nobody gives a flying fuck about an Alfred show. Other than that, I really have no opinion. Oh yeah.
How do you really feel, Jesse? I do have an opinion. I think it's a stupid idea, and I think they should give up. I really think somebody needs to go to the heads of DC and go, what the fuck are you doing? And just kind of hit them a little bit, like maybe in front of their kids, like maybe make their wife like realize that, like maybe they don't have such good ideas. I don't know.
I concur with you entirely. Alfred show, coming broom. Cleaning up the streets of grime. Okay. I stole both those jokes from Teen Titans Go. All right. Moving on to our next topic, escaping the DC universe for a second before returning to it later, unfortunately. Let's talk about Dark Horse Comics a little bit, and let's talk about the new Hellboy movie that is coming out in just 5 months. It's coming out in January.
Wow.
Which is scary. It's kind of January is usually the dumping grounds, but I have faith in this project, and better movies are starting to come out in January and February because there's less competition. They know that they can make the most money in those months because nothing's going against them. If you have
what came out this January?
This January, I can't think of much, but like Deadpool made all its money, the original, in February because it wasn't going against anything. And it's an R-rated movie. January and February is a good place to put your R-rated movies, whether they be comedies, action, or whatever, because they're not going against summer blockbusters.
Yeah.
An R-rated movie cannot go against a Star Wars or Infinity War. They get eaten alive. But you put them in January, February, there's no blockbusters.
You could probably put them up against Star Wars.
Hellboy versus Star Wars? Not an episode. Not an episode. Maybe a spinoff. but those episodes are still going to
I
crack
don't
$1
know
billion
why
every
I don't know
time.
why they premiered Solo so close to Deadpool and Infinity
No, that was a
War. It
horrible idea.
Suicide. It was shooting themselves in the kneecap. I told everyone it was going to happen, and they're like, "You're an idiot. It's Star Wars. It can't fail." Anyway, so what? Hellboy. What do we think about that?
We get any other time I come up with this. David Harbour from Stranger Things played the cop there, and even in that show, he was a grizzled but likable character. And they recently interviewed him, and it sounds like this is going to be a character-centric, really focused on Hellboy movie, which I've always really liked, because the whole thing about Hellboy, if you're not familiar with him as a character, is he was designed. He has the right fist of doom. His whole creation is to bring about the apocalypse on Earth and bring forward like the 7 Lords of Chaos or whatever. Like that is what he's supposed to do. But he's like, nah, fuck that. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and not do that. Yeah. And pet kitties. And they really want to explore what that does to a person, like being the monster that fights monsters to save humanity. It's kind of like the mutant approach, you know, but only just he's more physically actually a monster, defending the people that hate and fear him. It's going to be rated R. You have Mila Jovovich as the Blood Queen, so we're going to see her as a vampire, which is rad. And then we have Ian McShane as Professor Broom. There's not much more you can add to this movie to make me more excited. You know, and a lot of people are like, oh, Rod Perlman's my Hellboy. Rod Perlman's fantastic. There's no reason that this can't also be fantastic.
This is going to be the best tie ad ever.
Tie ad?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the guy that's playing Hellboy is the tie ad guy from the Super Bowl. You said he's the cop in Stranger Things.
Yeah. Nope, you're right.
Tie ad.
You're right.
It's tie ad.
That's cool.
So, I don't know. I think he looks good. I'm excited about it.
The images are great. He looks like a nightmare.
We need a trailer.
Yeah, I guess that was the original point, is when are we getting a trailer? Usually for bigger movies like this, it's about the 6-month mark.
Shit, we had a Justice League teaser trailer like a year and a half before the movie ever came out.
That's true. So I think they shouldn't wait this long, but if you wanted to, October, the Halloween time, is a really great time to drop a trailer for Hellboy. But then what? We're 3-4 months away at that point? No, we'd be like 3 months away.
Yeah.
That's too long to wait.
That's dumb. It needs to come out within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think.
If we don't get it by mid-September, I'm concerned, I think.
Well, it's just bad advertising. You have to have something ready for your multi-million-dollar film to push it. If you don't push it, and it's gonna flop. Nobody knew Ratchet and Clank was coming out, and it was made by a studio that no one's ever heard of. And then suddenly it was, oh, this is coming out. Oh, it flopped. Oh, that was in theaters. I don't remember, because
I think that just happened with Darkest Minds, because I remember seeing the trailers for it. I was like, all right, well, I have A-list. I'm curious, when does this come out? And I looked it up, and there's like no showings anywhere. I was like, oh, so it's not out yet. And I looked at the release, and the release was like a week or 2 ago. And I was like, oh,
you have to advertise your movie, dude. Like I said,
made $15 at the box office.
Justice League had a disappointing box office, but it wasn't for a lack of advertising. It was for a lack of prior quality content. Infinity War, however, pretty much boosted themselves. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I think that we need to see a trailer soon. I really enjoyed the first Hellboy.
We don't talk much about the second one.
We don't talk much about the Golden Army or the animated movie for that matter.
Oh, but that's not for lack of quality, though. The animated movies are most superb.
But yeah, I mean, interesting to see what happens. I just really want to get a trailer at this point, because we can't have much more of an opinion than, is the casting good and do the set photos look okay?
Yes, and yes. So all the boxes have been checked. How does live action look? We can't check that box yet. We're looking forward to it. When do you guys expect to see a trailer? I'd like to have a kind of a poll going in like the comment section. Things is what month, what week, when are we getting it? Are you really excited? Are you stuck on Ron Perlman?
Who's my real dad?
Let's talk about Hellboy, guys. All right. Have you ever read Hellboy or BPRD or any of those things? What do you think about Ed Sheeran? Because of race bending, he left the project.
Was a teacher ever mean to you in school?
Yeah. All right, moving on back to the DC universe, because that's such a hot shit show that we can never stay away from it for more than 5 minutes. Because welcome to the We Talk DC podcast.
Year and a half of this podcast, it was, if Batman versus Superman was brought up,
I can summarize I can summarize our year in podcasting. It goes like this, leading up to a DC film. Hype. After a DC movie. Wow, what's wrong with this universe? And then we'll just hype up to Aquaman, and then hopefully not. But I'm looking forward to Aquaman and Shazam. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Maverick as the Green Lantern, potentially. Mr. Tom Cruise as Hal Jordan, or Marky Mark. Hey guys, I'm a Green Lantern. I drink beer. I'm gonna make a thing. What do you think?
You, Thunder.
You can suck my dick.
Um,
Hey, Kilowog, what are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. You used to be playing with Mike Clark Duncan, right?
say hello to your mother for me.
Hey, I fly planes.
I can't believe that these are two real candidates for Green Lantern. Now, Chris Pine did a great job as Steve Trevor. Blah 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 blah. He would have.
Kirk should have been Hal Jordan.
He would have been a good fit for Hal Jordan. However, Mark Wahlberg, very great, very versatile actor. I don't see him as Green Lantern. I can still see Ryan Reynolds as a better Green Lantern than Mark Wahlberg. And Tom Cruise, that's a fucking joke, dude. You're really pulling my leg with that. Can he still act? Yes. Is he still versatile? Yes. Did I think that he didn't fit in The Mummy? No, I think that he did good. The movie just sucked. I think that they're both fantastic actors that I'm a fan of. I just do not see it at all. I don't think that just liking a person makes them fit in the role. You know, they have to have the and neither of them have the for Hal Jordan as Green Lantern.
That's a scientific term, correct?
They don't have the
Did you hear about this thing though? Did you hear about this thing? Did you hear about this thing? Okay, so there's a rumor going on, right? That Tom Cruise didn't want to take the role because they were going to kill him off in the first movie. Did you hear about that thing?
Why would Tom Cruise want a multi-deal movie with DC?
Because he wants to get
multi-movie deal.
He wants to get in the comic books and he wants to do multiple pitches.
He can't play. He needs to play like, who's somebody old? I don't even know. Well, he's not. I wouldn't even call him like an old or like bad-looking guy. Like he's still like a good-looking dude. He's still very physical. He still does his own stunts for the Mission Impossible movies. I just think that I don't know. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
I don't know. You throw a green mask on him. I'm like, that's how
I don't think Joaquin Phoenix fits as the Joker at all. I think that's one of the stupidest things.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Who do you think should be the Green Lantern?
Okay. So I am of a few different minds about this. One, if the rumors are true that Tom Cruise doesn't want to take the role if they're going to kill him off in the first movie, understandably, he's an action star. He's like, I want my money. I understand where he's coming from. I kind of like the idea of him being Hal Jordan if it sounds like they're going for an older Hal Jordan that is going to be like taking John Stewart under the wing of being a Green Lantern. It's like this Green Lantern has existed for like 20 years. I'm kind of okay with that. And everyone's like, well, where's he been? Everyone thinks that Green Lantern is responsible for Earth. He's responsible for a fucking sector. That's like our known universe that we know of. One Lantern's responsible for all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go out to like different universes, basically. So he could definitely be off Earth dealing with other shit and then has to come back for whatever reason in John Stewart. Yada, 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 yada. I think he's an okay pick. And I like the idea of Hal Jordan dying to kind of justify having a John Stewart. But I'm also okay with that definitely not being the first movie. If you give us a buddy cop movie with Hal Jordan and John Stewart to start it off with, and maybe Hal kicks the bucket.
The movie already sounds like it's just going to be the history of Trunks. Gohan, Trunks.
Are you mad at that? I'm not mad at that.
I'm not.
We've never had a straight up comic book buddy cop movie.
I think that there are plenty of lesser known or better actors than Tom Cruise. Just because he's a big name doesn't mean he should get the role. And DC especially has thrown a lot of big names into their casting.
But tell me Maverick and Top Gun isn't Hal Jordan.
Maverick and Top Gun may be Hal Jordan, but that's not Tom Cruise anymore.
But that would have been like the timeline of when he got the ring, and now you have older Maverick as Hal Jordan of 20 years.
Potentially. I guess from like, well, now you got me thinking about it, because I guess from like older Tom Cruise movies, I could see the Hal Jordan personality in it. I just don't see Tom Cruise. He's fucking Tom Cruise. You can't see Tom Cruise as anything but Tom Cruise.
True. My thing is the whole idea of it being a buddy cop movie. I like Tom Cruise. I think he's a pretty good actor. I don't think he really has chemistry with anybody. Every time I watch a movie, he's cool, but whenever there's a conversation with like him and somebody else, I'm like, I don't buy what's happening here. I don't buy what's happening here. Tom Cruise is very much a unique, standalone, independent personality. So if they were to do like a Green Lantern movie with him as Hal Jordan,
So
that
he's
was it.
whoever's Hal Jordan needs to be an older person, right?
Sounds like it. But I just he also needs to be able to share screen time convincingly, if that makes sense. And I don't see him as the chaperone, or not chaperone, but I don't see him as the the coach type. I don't see Coach Cruz. That's it. That's all I got for.
We went a little far on that.
We definitely really didn't talk about Marky Mark because I don't think either of us consider that seriously. You can be Booster Gold. Hey guys, I'm from the future. I got my own reality show. I'm Booster Gold. Nice to meet you. What's up, Blue Beetle? That's all I got. Next topic.
What is the next topic?
Oh, actually, we're doing a special thing that we're starting today for the first time. We're doing mailbag.
Is that the next topic?
Yeah.
What was that? All the topics?
That was all the topics.
That was all the topics.
Happy seizure of my life. All right. So we really want to encourage you guys to send us messages, comments, and whatever questions that you have for the show that we can bring on and add to our little end of the show mailbag. And today we are starting off with Alex McQuarter, which some of you might know from some of the Fan Splash showdowns and a couple times they showed up on the podcast.
Haven't heard of him.
Never heard of him? No, that's fine. Alex asks, how do you guys feel about the Constantine show? He actually has a two-part question, but we will start out with how do we feel about the Constantine show? I'm going to start with Tyler because Tyler has not completed the show. What do you think of what you have seen?
The first few episodes I've seen are good. They definitely draw you in from the beginning, and the storyline definitely. Obviously the show didn't get to carry on, unfortunately, but you could see it carry on into Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. How do I feel about John Ryan as the character?
Ryan.
I think
who's John Ryan?
Matt Ryan.
Jack Ryan. Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
John Ryan. How I feel about John Ryan is he can.
I get it. John Constantine. Matt Ryan.
He can kick a football. Matt Ryan. I'm just getting everything wrong today. Matt Ryan.
Bollocks.
Yes. Fits the bill really well. He does a really good job. So I enjoy him as a character, and I look forward to seeing him more in Legends of Tomorrow. When I found that he was going there, I was ecstatic. So I really like it. Do I wish that his own show would continue over him being in Legends of Tomorrow? Yeah, probably be a lot better with his own show. But am I appreciative that he's in Legends of Tomorrow? Very much so.
You listen good. I've never been so fucking upset that a show was canceled. When Constantine was on at the same time that Flash was on, I preferred Constantine. That is how much that I love this show.
That's saying a lot because the Flash season 1 was groundbreaking. It was really good.
Was Constantine during 1 or 2?
I think that they came out at the same time.
Did they? That's possible. I don't remember which season it was, but I remember that Flash was good when Constantine was coming out, and I liked Constantine more. It just reached into some of my sensibilities, and I liked having him as he's the main character, but I wouldn't even say he's a hero because he does some. You haven't gotten far enough to really see that, like he does things that are straight up not good. It's like that was a poor choice. Somebody died because you're selfish, and you only care about yourself, really. Like that's why he can so rarely ever partner up with anybody, and he's just one of the most flawed characters in the DC universe, and it's very entertaining to watch him. Like, you are such an asshole, but I can't stop liking you and enjoying you and knowing that overall you are for the greater good. Anyways, the show was phenomenal. It got super rushed in the last 3 episodes because around episode 5 or 6 during filming, they're like, hey, you're canceled. So fuck the 20 episodes that you had. You're canceled now.
Let's do 13. Or how many was it?
Yeah, 13.
13, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, let's do 13 instead of 20. So whatever, crush your extra 7 or so episodes that you had scripted into 3. Anyways, I love Constantine. Like Tyler said, it lives on in other mediums. We've gotten to see Matt Ryan come and do animated shows, Justice League Dark, the animated movie, and animated CW Seed show. And now he's doing another. Okay.
You can't speak until this podcast ends. What is our next question from Alex McQuarter? Jesse.
Okay. This question must go specifically to me, I guess. because I'm the only one here that's seen Christopher Robin. I have the high ground.
What is the question?
Alex McWhorter asked, for you, did Christopher Robin feel like watching Hook? Now, I will say to you, Alex, no, because Hook is better. I know that a lot of people made this connection. And the funny thing was, watching the movie, I didn't think about it. But then afterwards, everyone's like, oh, it's Hook for Winnie the Pooh. And I was like, oh, yeah, it is. Like, I agree with the relation of the two. However, Hook is like a swashbuckling, fun adventure with so much heart. Whereas Christopher Robin, I'm like, it's cute. That's all I got.
But you enjoyed it, right?
I got no qualms with Christopher Robin whatsoever, but like, I'm not going to remember it a month from now.
Hook is a very memorable movie, very good movie.
Hook is a lasting, like, I will watch it over and over and over. If somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I haven't seen Christopher Robin, will you come over and watch with me? Sure. Am I going to go out of my way to watch it? Nope. But it was good. It was fine. It's not Hook. Rufio. Oh, yeah. You know,
Rufio.
Do you crow?
I think of Rufio every time I see Rufino.
Wine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prosecco.
That's just like
Rufino.
There's a beer that makes me think of Dragon Ball Z every time I see it, and I can't think of what it is now. All right. Well,
okay.
To be continued on that thought.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me know if you think of it.
It'll come to me.
Is that all from Alex?
That's all from Alex. Moving
right.
on to our second mailbag question.
Please submit your mailbag questions to TheFanSplash@gmail.com.
Yes. Or comment on the Facebook page whenever we bring it up. But the emails will get to us directly and we can save them. And if you shoot it a week in advance, we can hold on to it and have it on the next podcast. So please do that.
Or don't ask any questions and you could go fuck yourself. I don't care.
Or do that.
I'm just kidding. Please. We want attention. Love us.
All right. Shane Limes, sorry, that's Lemons. Lemons asks, what is one story, novel, comic, etc., you wish was made into a movie or live action TV show? And if it has been made, did you like it? Why or why not? And what would you change about it to possibly make it better? Now, we are running out of time for the podcast. We're going to try to get through these as quick as possible. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for your questions, but we do have time limits here, or we're trying to. We're working on it. What is yours?
I have two. I'll mention them both, but I'll only go into one. Number one is Death Note. Netflix recently made a movie. I would just say that I would have made it a series, and I wouldn't have cast who I did, and I wouldn't have, changed the plot as much as they did. But the biggest one I think that anybody can mention is Dragon Ball. You made the biggest steaming pile of shit, and these have both been already adapted, but horribly. Dragon Ball Z. You can make it starting with the
Zack Snyder directing. That's my first change.
You can make it starting with the Saiyans, make the second movie on Namek, and make the third movie with Cell. And if they continue to do good, like Transformers movies, go to Boo. But you just focus on like one little saga. It's easy. It's just like boom, Goku's this main character. He dies at the beginning, Snake Way. There's so much source material. You don't have to shove it in. You pick one little saga.
All you do is cut the filler out, and you have a 2-hour movie.
It's true, because Dragon Ball Z is notorious for filler. And, like 5 episodes later, like still powering up. So
just one punch and over 9,000 screams.
Exactly. It's so doable to imagine that they came out with that pile of crap. By the way, I think Justin Chatwin should play Nightwing.
Not a bad choice.
The guy that played Goku in Dragon Ball Evolution, the worst movie ever made. Anyway, that's my answer, Shane. Make a good Death Note or make a good Dragon Ball Z movie or Death Note series.
All right. So there's a million different things I can talk about one way or the other, and I thought a good pick would be one that I have positive and negative to say about. I want to talk about, really quick, Civil War, Captain America Civil War, the third Captain America film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe compared to the Civil War comic. Is it better? Is it worse? Is it in the middle? I'm going for that. There are some things that are handled so much better. In my opinion, they made a slight change in the storyline. The movie's all about the Sokovia Accords, which is about the government making heroes basically responsible for their actions, and they need to be overseen by the government. which is it's similar-ish to the comic because they had elements of that, but it was all about registering. You couldn't have secret identities anymore, but they couldn't do that in the movies because there really wasn't any secret identities other than Spider-Man, who was just getting introduced.
Right.
So they had to change it. Did the change work? Absolutely. I think both of those work on their own equal levels. Nobody wins in that match. We'll go on to, I think, let's talk about the villain. Basically, the villain of the Civil War comic was Tony Stark. And it's not like, hey, I can see both sides. It's Tony's an asshole, and he's literally getting villains to work alongside him because he's that determined to win this fight. He gets Venom and Green Goblin.
Superman and Injustice.
Yeah, like he goes full tilt, like nobody likes you. And the way the movie was better is Cap's my boy. I auto-biasly side with Cap no matter what. But I didn't blame Iron Man for a damn thing in that movie. I was like, I completely understand everything that you're doing, and everything that you're doing makes sense to your character, makes sense to the arcs that you've had up until this point. I empathize with you. Finding out that Bucky killed your parents, I feel it. That hurt me more than anything else in that movie or most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It stung really bad. So there's...
He's my friend.
So was I. Fuck. Like, hurt. Yeah, so both of them are really good. The movie knew how to narrow in on what was important, and I think the comic had a lot of filler that was unnecessary. I think Spider-Man was handled better in the comic because they had more time. There was the push me, pull you. He jumped sides a couple times, but I just want to talk about that. I think Civil War is a fascinating thing to be adapted, and they did the best they could. There's not much I would change. There's a couple slow spots in the movie that didn't need to be there. Could have been handled differently. But
Fantastic Four.
What?
Fantastic Four. Would you bring Fantastic Four in there?
Not in a single movie, no.
Okay.
If they were to make Civil War like
After
Infinity War, like make it like a multi-part movie, then sure. But I would not have had one more extra character in the movie as it stands.
Well, as it is, it's still my favorite Marvel movie. So I'm just saying things that you would change. I got you.
Yeah. Slim down some of the fat a little bit. I'm okay with Hulk and Thor not being in there because whatever team either of them were on probably would have been the winning team. So it makes sense. Take the powerhouses out. Yeah, that's what I got. That's the end of the questions. We had 2 mailbag questions. We had 4 topics. We did it in roughly 30 minutes. We're gonna try to slim down on that, but that's a lot.
We are gonna slim down, but that's about half our normal time. So that's way better.
And considering we haven't done this in like a year, I don't know.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We used to have like an hour and a half, 2-hour podcast. We cut down on it. So appreciate it. Love it. Send us some comments, questions. We want to keep this mailbag thing going, and we just want to stay topical and relevant, and look out for special episodes. Pretty soon, tomorrow, actually, we're going to be filming a comic shop tour with a lot of the other guys. For once, Tyler, love you. But it's going to be all the other people that you don't see much of, or some of them you haven't seen at all. A couple of these guys are going to be very new faces to the Fansplash podcast / videos. And then Alex, who you don't know, you've never heard of, but he will be in there as well. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Check us out on Facebook at the Fansplash Network. Email us your mailbags to thefansplash@gmail.com. Check us out on Instagram, fan_splash_podcast.
Fantastic.
Reddit.com/fansplash, although that hasn't been updated in a very long time.
Do you have a Reddit?
And we also have a Twitter, believe it or not.
Yeah.
At the Fansplash. But I think that might be barren. We might try to keep up on those. I don't know. Maybe Twitter's dying. But just
Twitter took James Gunn from us.
The biggest one, though, that you'll find content that you won't find anywhere else is soundcloud.com/fansplash or fan_splash or fan/podcast.
Try all of those.
I'll have a more definite answer for you next time. But there you can find audio only interviews with individuals. We have 2 out right now, but we are working on getting more.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. May the film be with you. See you next time.
Keep your pants on.
Or don't.